Right, hello everyone. Hopefully, everybody can hear me, and everybody. It looks like we've got some people that have joined. Excellent. I'm just checking that we've not. The stream looks good. Audio looks good. If there's anybody about in the chat, if you could just let me know if you're hearing me okay and you're seeing everything okay. I'll give it a couple of seconds. Oh, well. I mean, whilst we're waiting for a bit of confirmation, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to Tindalos' Gaming first live stream for a while now, and we're going to be live streaming, or I'm going to be live streaming, the Curse of the Rougarou, taking Marie Lambeau down to the Louisiana swamps to see if she can get rid of this pesky thing that seems to be annoying people down there. Got 5 people watching. If anybody could just let me know in chat that I can hear everything. If not, I'm going to make a start. I seem to be, the stream signal looks good. Looks good. Dropped a few frames, but I'm going to make a start. So welcome to Tindalos Gaming, and welcome to this playthrough of Arkham Horror, the living card game, Curse of the Rougarou. So shiny new bits and bobs on the screen. Got a nice streaming elements done for me via a very nice chap over at Fiverr. Hope you're liking the look of that. So what are we doing? Well, we're taking Marie Lambeau through the Curse of the Rougarou, as I've said. So got a few things to do. First of all, I've sorted out the Chaos Bag. The Chaos Bag is in line with what is the Curse of the Rougarou, Arkham Knights 2016. And we'll go through the final setup for that in a second. But let's have a look at Marie. We're playing Chapter 2. Chapter 2 Marie. So this is her card. 4 willpower, 4 intellect, 1 fight, and 3. I don't know why that's doing that. I should have fixed that to stop it auto-focusing. Bear with me just 2 seconds whilst I head over to the computer. Done all this beforehand. For some reason or other, it's not allowed it. Properties, configure, auto. We don't want auto. That should have fixed that. There we go. Done all this beforehand, and for some reason OBS doesn't like it. There we go. There we go. Right, so she is a performer witch, and she's got a reaction after damage is placed on Marie Lambeau. Draw 2 cards and discard 1 of them. So she's got 8 health, 7 sanity, and her Elder Sign effect is +0, but if you succeed, we can heal the damage. So that's her. Put her nicely in her little slot there. Before we go to setup, we'll have a quick look at the deck list that I've put together. I will put a link in the description once the video is uploaded to YouTube. But the deck list is as follows. So we have got 2 copies of Hand Crank Flashlight. Now I've spent 19 experience on this deck. The idea really behind playing these types of standalone scenarios, or one of the ideas, is you play it sort of mid-campaign. You can pay some experience to go off and do something different to the campaign. So whenever I play a standalone scenario, I'll always play it with some experience. In this case, I've given it 19, I've given Marie 19 experience, which means that she spent a bit to upgrade her deck a little bit. And I can't link to the cards, but you can see there what I've done. So I've spent 6 XP on ritual, 2 ritual daggers to make her a bit fighty. She's got a couple of standard cosmic flames, which is a bit fighty. 2 second sights, which is her investigation spell. 2 bloodstones. We've got her Grandmare's charm, which is a unique item. We've got 1 copy of a 1 XP ceremonial robes and 1 copy of Cloak of Resonance. We've got 1 standard Jim Culver and a 2nd upgraded Jim Culver. We've got 2 offering bowls. We've got 2 Augur of Elikos, which helps investigation. There's 3 XP each. 1 copy of Blood Ward, 2 XP version. 2 Consume Lives. 2 Favour of Bashandor. 2 Infused Life. 2 Mirror Form. 1 Ward of Protection. 2 Will of the Cosmos. And we've got her signature weakness called to Gune, and 1 Hemophobia and 1 Pursuit. Right, okay, so that's the deck. Like I say, I'll put a link to the deck list in the description below. I'm looking over there because that's where my monitor is, but my camera's here, so I should be looking at the camera. Again, looking like we're okay for streaming. So, Curse of the Rougarou, what's going on? Got a bit of setup to do. So let's read what it says for Curse of the Rougarou. Terror grips New Orleans. Minnie Klein, your contact at the Arkham Advertiser, had slipped you a draft of the article over a cup of coffee at Velma's Diner. It would have gone to print had Doyle Jeffries, the lead editor, not scoffed at the concept. I believe his exact words were, "I ain't printing the ravings of some voodoo lunatic and passing it off as news," he explained. From the sly grin spreading across her face, you could tell she smelled a story. The headline was sensationalist. 3 killings in 9 days was enough to spook a town, sure. But you doubt all of New Orleans is gripped by the terror or even knows about the killings. Still, something piqued your interest. Lady Esprit, the voodoo priestess from the article, claimed that a malign curse had taken root in the bayou. There's something to this, isn't there? I know that look, Minnie said. You weren't sure. If Lady Esprit was right, this Rougarou wouldn't stop killing at 3, that's for sure. But curses, wolf people, how could such things be real? Only one way to find out. You put on your coat and head for the Northside Station. So, setup. Gather all cards from the following encounter sets: Curse of the Rougarou and the Bayou. Those sets are indicated by the following icons, 2 icons or 2 sets in this game. Set the Curse of the Rougarou encounter set aside out of play. Done that. Sort each locations into 4 piles by trait: New Orleans, Riverside, Wilderness and Unhallowed. Randomly choose one of those piles and remove those locations from the game. So 4 locations, I'm going to roll a d6. I'll re-roll a 5 or a 6. So let's see what we get. We get 3. 1, 2, 3. So Brackish Waters is going to be removed from the game. That leaves us with 3 lots of locations. Randomly choose another one of these piles and put those locations into play. Set each location in the other 2 piles aside out of play. Each investigator begins play at the Bayou location in play. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, we're going to be starting off at the Foul Swamp. So Cursed Shores and the Forgotten Marsh will be out of play, and we will begin here. They're sort of in a little triangle from memory, what memory serves me, so we'll put those there. We'll get our little counters. They're all connected. That's connected, and that's connected, and we start in the Foul Swamp. Set the following cards aside out of play: Lady Esprit, Bear Trap and Fishing Net. Done. Shuffle the remainder of the encounter deck to build the encounter deck, and then we are ready to start playing. Quite a simple setup. Quite a simple setup. One thing I should have mentioned, very remiss of me on a Tindalos gaming video. Got my coffee. We're all good. There's our encounter deck. We'll give that a shuffle. it's had a good shuffle off screen, but we need to do one on screen. We are contractually obliged to do at least 2 cat weasel cuts. So there's the first cat weasel cut. Anybody watching, if you know what I'm talking about when I talk about a cat weasel cut, if you want to put your comments in, be good to see what you think I say that. Oh, here we go. Live streaming, there's no editing of boo-boos. Hopefully people will pick me up in the chat if I do make a boo-boo. That might be useful. I do tend to make boo-boos in these types of games. Not done intentionally, but you know, it is what it is. There we go, done. And we will cut the deck for a second cat weasel cut. Put our deck there. Curse of the Rougarou. Oh god, just managed to bang that. Curse of the Rougarou on easy and standard, -2. The skull is -2, -4 if we're at a Bayou location. The cultist is -2. If the Rougarou is in your location, reveal another token. The tablet is reveal another token. If you fail until the end of the round, you cannot move. And the elder thing is -4. If the Rougarou is at your location, it attacks you. And for some reason or other, my light has just done a funny thing, so bear with me. There we go. Gremlins when you're live streaming. I can't believe it. There we go. Right. We've got Act 1, Finding Lady Esprit. According to your contact, Lady Esprit is a voodoo priestess who lives deep within the bayou. Most tend to stay clear of her lovely, lonely shack. After all, the bayou can be a dangerous place, even if it were not for the recent rash of savage killings. Objective: only investigators at a bayou location may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance, and we need 1 clue per, because we're playing solo, or I'm playing solo. I don't very often play true solo. I always play double-handed. So the deck I've designed for Marie has to be a sort of bit of a jack of all trade, really, to hopefully deal with getting clues and also doing damage to monsters. We've got the agenda, a creature at the bayou. After arriving in New Orleans the next day, you start your investigation by asking the locals what they know about the recent killings. As you suspected, most know very little of the instances. You do manage to find several eyewitnesses who give similar descriptions of the creature. Its lithe, muscular form, lanky arms and wolf-like visage. A promising start, but if there is any truth to the rumours about this curse, you'll likely have to talk to Lady Esprit herself. And we need 5 doom on that. We'll move the chaos bag a tad, just to give me a bit of space. And I think we are ready to draw our opening hand. We'll have a swig of coffee. All good, all good. Just if there is anybody in the chat, could they just let me know things are going well? I think things are. I'm looking over at my other monitor. It all looks good. Excellent stream. Okay, let's draw our opening hand. 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have got a ward of protection. Not really needed at this point. We've got a bloodstone, which gives us +1 will, which is quite nice. We've got a Jim Culver, who gives us +1 will. We've got an infused life, and we've got a hand crank flashlight. I mean, Haven't got my spells, but I do like the fact of getting +2 will. Will be very nice for her spell. All of her spells, like most mystics, are based on willpower. And I do quite like the hand crank flashlight. I'll be testing at 5. So I think I'm going to keep those 3, and I will get rid of infused life and water protection. So we're going to get our ritual dagger, which allows us to do a bit of fighting, and we're going to get a hemophobia, which goes there, and we're going to get a consume life. So a bit of fighting and a bit, okay, happy with that. It's a bit expensive. There's no emergency cash in this deck, as most people that have seen the deck will have noticed. Okay, cut, and we're good to go. We'll flip over the Flower Swamp. That's our opening hand. It's a Shroud of 2. No clues in it, obviously. Whilst we're at the Foul Swamp, we can't heal horror or cancel horror. There's an action there. We can take horror, take 3 horror, test will 7 to search the Boneyard. You get +1 will for this test for each horror taken as part of this ability's cost. If you succeed, remember the investigators have found an ancient binding stone. Could come back to that. We could come back to that. Right, what are we going to do? I mean, the ritual dagger's nice. It's expensive. Jim Culver's nice. I think I'd like to get Jim and the hand crank flashlight out just to start off with. Yeah, so first action, spend 4 down to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll play Jim Culver. Give us +1, so we're now at 5 willpower. Second action, we'll pay 1 down to 0 to bring out our hand crank flashlight. And third action, we'll move down to this unhallowed land. We'll flip it over. 4 shroud, no clues, but we can do an action to spend 2 resources to heal 2 horror. And that's pretty much it. Down to 0 resources. Okay. Enemy phase, there are no enemies in play. Upkeep phase, we go to ready up. Get our actions back. We gain a resource up to 1, and we draw a card. We're going to get second sight, which is our investigate spell. Uses 3 charges. If we succeed, we can spend a charge to discover an additional clue at the location. If we roll a cultist token, we can remove 1 charge. Or you have to remove 1 charge from second sight. If you cannot, we take 1 horror. 4 cost. Okay, we've got our resource, we've drawn our card, we go to the mythos phase. We put 1 doom of 5 onto the agenda. One of 5. We then draw our mythos card. We get a swamp leech. Any bayou location can't be evaded. It's a 4 fight, 1 health. When Swamp Leech enters a non-Bayou location, discard it. So it doesn't actually engage with us, but it does hang out at the Foul Swamp, which is quite apt, really. Okay, we go to the investigation phase. So what's Marie doing? Well, there's no point in staying at the overgrown cairns, as there's no clues there. We've only got one resource. We need some resources, but first action, she is going to move across to this unhallowed land, and she's going to be at the ritual grounds. After you end your turn at the ritual grounds, draw one card and take one horror. It's got a victory on it of 1, and it comes in with 1 clue per investigator. Second action, she's going to investigate using the hand crank flashlight. So we're at 5 versus 2. I think we're just going to have to go with 5 versus 2. First pull of the chaos bag. What's going to happen? 5 versus 2. -3. Only just. Only just, but we do get the clue. We do get the clue. That was their second action. Haven't really got a lot to fight the Swamp Leech yet. We need to get our ritual dagger out, really. That would be helpful. So I think she's going to have to spend a turn at the ritual grounds and take the hit. So her third action is she's going to gain 1 resource to go up to 2. And then we'll end the turn there. Once we end the turn, we take a horror down to 6. But we do get to draw a card, and we draw another ritual dagger. And now, so we've got 2 ritual daggers. That's it for the investigation phase. We go on to the enemy phase. Swamp Leech hasn't got Hunter or anything like that, so it literally is just going to hang out in the Foul Swamp. We go to the upkeep phase. We get our actions back. We gain a resource up to 3. We draw a card. We draw Augur of Elokos. It's another investigation spell. 3 cost or 3 experience. Add your willpower to your intellect for this investigation. If you succeed, discover 1 additional clue at your location. If you succeed and a token with a symbol was revealed during this test, you may discard a terror or hex treachery from any investigator's threat area. And importantly, it hasn't got an arcane slot, so it's just going to sit around not being too arcane-y. There we go. That's the end of the upkeep phase. We go to the top of the round. We put a Doom onto the agenda. 2 of 5. We draw a encounter card for Marie. She gets Ripples on the Surface. Test Will 3. For each point you fail by, take 1 horror. If you're at a Bayou location, you cannot commit You cannot commit cards to this skill test. Okay, so a test of 3. We are 5 versus 3 because we've got Jim Culver in the mix. I think at this point I can afford to chuck in a ritual dagger, which will take us to 7 versus 3, because it's got a willpower and a wild icon. I think that's going to be enough. So 4, 5 with Jim, 6, 7 versus 3. 7 versus 3. -2, and it's -4 if you're at a Bayou location. The ritual grounds are not a Bayou location, so we pass. Ritual dagger goes to our discard pile. Comes to our turn. Okay, first action. Spend 3. 1, 2, 3 to play the ritual dagger. Second action, we're going to move in to the foul swamp. Swamp leech immediately engages us. And then for our third action, we're going to fight with the ritual dagger. So it says add your will to your fight for this attack. So I'm 4, 5, 6. 6 versus 4. 6 versus 4. I'm going to play a consume life, or not play a consume life. I'm going to commit a consume life, which gives us +1 fight. So we are we're 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4, I think, is going to be as best as I can get, I think, at this point. Yeah. 7 versus 4. +1. Does the damage. Does the damage to kill the swamp leech. I should have drawn a card earlier when I took a horror, but my fault, I forgot it. So consume life goes. That was our third action. First action was to equip. Now the objective is not an action. So I'm going to do that straight away. Only investigators at a Bayou location may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. I'll spend the 1. To advance. Okay. It says, understanding the curse. Finding Lady Esprit's shack is no simple endeavour, but eventually you spot the decrepit shanty throughout the mist. Lady Esprit greets you as you enter, not at all surprised by your intrusion. She claims that the Rougarou was once a man, cursed by a being known as Shub-Nagrath, into the form of a great wolf. She believes that she can lift the Rougarou's curse from the Bayou, but only if the creature is destroyed. Put each set-aside Lady Esprit into play at a Bayou location. Put into play each of the set-aside locations. Put the set-aside Rougarou enemy into play at any non-Bayou location. Shuffle the encounter discard pile in the encounter deck from the Curse of the Rougarou encounter set into the encounter deck. The lead investigator reads the following out loud. As you leave Lady Esprit's shack, a terrible sickness courses through you and you drop to your knees. The lead investigator puts the set-aside Curse of Rougarou weakness into play into his or her threat area. So a little bit of stuff going on there. So let's just take that a step at a time. So these are all in little triangles. So for the Forgotten Marsh comes in with the wilderness here. Let's try and create a little bit of space. We're at the foul swamp, we remember. So ritual grounds can move over here. Foul swamp and overgrown cairns can go there. Forgotten Marsh, wilderness, wilderness, and that is connected to that. That is connected to that. And those are connected to each other. That is connected to that. Oops. And then we've got the Cursed Shores. Similar thing, those are connected to that. Those are connected to that. Those are connected to that. And the Cursed Shores is connected. All three of these are connected to each other. So I can move from the Foul Swamp to the Cursed Shores, for example. And we were at the Foul Swamp. Okay. Sorry if there's a bit of glare there. There's not a lot I can do about that with them being sleeved. These aren't connected to each other. Righty. Set aside Lady Esprit at a Bayou location. So let's put her in. She seems like she'd be quite happy at the Foul Swamp. Let's see what she does. She has an action, exhaust her and deal her 1 horror. Heal 2 damage or gain 2 resources. Any investigator at Lady Esprit's location may activate this ability. Oh, nice. And we're going to put the Rougarou at any non-Bayou location. So the Rougarou is this fella here. 3 fight, 5 health, 3 to evade. He's got aloof and retaliate. Hits for 2 and 2. Hits like a bit of a train. As an additional cost for the investigator to engage the Rougarou, the investigators must spend 1 clue as a group, 2 clues if there are 3 or more investigators forced. After the Rougarou takes 1 damage, in our case, during a single phase, find the location that is furthest from all investigators and move the Rougarou 1 location at a time until it enters that location. Let's put him down here in New Orleans for the time being. He can stay there. We're not quite ready to be tackling him. We're going to take the encounter set and that, and we're going to give it a good old shuffle up. And I will give this a good shuffle because obviously there was the encounter set was all together. I wouldn't usually do this type of shuffle on camera. It takes a bit of time. What's known as a Mickey shuffle where I live. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. You'll have seen it loads and loads of times anyway. So shuffle, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I say, I don't usually do it this way because it takes a bit of time. But as there are 2 encounter sets going in together, we'll make sure we try and give it as best a shuffle as we can. And we'll give it another shuffle just to make sure. And our third cat weasel cut. And there we go, that's the encounter deck sorted. And then the final thing we need to do is give the lead investigator, so poor old Marie is going to get the Curse of the Rougarou, which is we put it into our threat area, and at the end of your turn, if you've not dealt damage this turn, we take 1 horror. Ooh, that could be nasty. That could be nasty. That was at the end of my turn. That was at the end of my turn. So that's it. We're now on to Act 2A. Hunting the Rougarou. The Rougarou is somewhere within the vast bayou. You must track it down and destroy it, lest the beast's curse consumes you as well. Forced. After the Rougarou leaves a location, place one clue from the token bank on that location. That's why it's important that he moves one location at a time. He basically leaves a trail of clues. Objective: we have to destroy the beast. If the Rougarou was defeated, we get resolution 2. The objective: maybe there's another way. While an investigator is engaged with the Rougarou, he or she may choose to advance, limit once per phase. Ooh, interesting. We might have to just see what that does. We might have to see what that does. Okay. That was the end of my turn. Then we go to the enemy phase. There are no enemies in play other than the Rougarou, and it hasn't got a hunter. He's just going to stay there aloof, sniffing around the trees, trying to pick up our scent. So that's the enemy phase. We go to the upkeep phase. We ready up. We get our 3 actions back, and we get a resource up to 1. And that's the end. Or we draw a card. We draw a card and we get consume life. Dealing +1 damage doesn't really make a lot of difference in this scenario for the Rougarou. I mean, there's other little fellas and stuff in the deck, so it might come in useful later. It's got a fight or a willpower icon, so that's quite nice. We're already past that. So we go on to the Mythos phase. We put 3 of 5 Doom on the agenda, and Marie draws a card, and she's going to get Dragged Under. Oh, test it on agility 3. If you fail, put it into our threat area. When you leave your location, take 2 damage. Ooh, and discard Dragged Under. Okay. At the end of your turn, test agility 3. If you succeed, discard Dragged Under. That's nasty. Agility for us is not great. So we are agility 3. We've got to remember Marie's ability, which is after she takes damage. It's not direct damage either. So what have we got? We have got nothing that can help with that. I mean, we could chuck the auger in, but I'm not going to waste that just for a wild, unfortunately. I think I might just have to take the 2 damage. But we've got to do the test first of all. So it's a straight 3-on-3 test. It's a straight 3-on-3 test. -5. -5. We fail. We fail. So comes to our turn. We need to get some clues. We need to get some clues. But it'd be good to get some resources as well. It would be good to get some resources. So I think for my first action, I'm going to exhaust Lady Esprit, and she's going to take 1 horror. And we're going to get or heal 2 damage or gain 2 resources. I'll gain 2 resources up to 3. 1, 2. I think I need to sort of get a bit set up for investigating. I'm not going to be able to do any damage this turn, so I'm going to take a horror. Tricky. Second action, I'm going to gain a resource up to 4. And then the third action, I'm going to spend 4 to place second sight. 1, 2, 3, 4, down to 0. That's it. Comes in with 3 charges. End of my turn. Curse of the Rougarou kicks in. I'm going to take 1 horror. I will put that on Jim. Jim takes 1. Dragged under, I haven't moved yet. At the end of your turn, test agility 3. Well, we're still 3 on 3. I'm still not got anything to play, so let's do a test. 3 on 3. Cultist -2. If the Rougarou is in your location, reveal another token. Don't need to. We fail. We go to the enemy phase. Rougarou is hanging around. We go to the upkeep phase. We ready up. Lady Esprit is going to ready. We are going to get our actions back. We're going to gain a resource up to 1. We're going to draw a card. We get Ward of Protection. That's handy to know. That is handy to know. Just looking at Jim's card, it says after you take damage. So Jim taking the damage and or horror doesn't count. All right, we go to the Mythos phase. 4 of 5 onto the agenda. We draw a card. We get on the prowl. Search. Find a non-value location with the fewest clues on it. Move that Rougarou 1 location at a time until it enters that location. Well, he's just gonna pop up to that New Orleans. It's got Surge. It says, after the Rougarou leaves the location, place one clue from the token bank on that location. I'm just wondering, does he place, even though these are not revealed, does he place a clue on it? So when it gets flipped over, it's got additional clues on it. Interesting. Interesting. Let's have a quick Google on that. See what the internet tells us. Arkham Horror LCG. Does the Rougarou leave clues on unrevealed locations? Yes. Does leave clues on unrevealed locations. When you finally investigate and flip that location, any clues the Rougarou left behind will be added to the standard number. Okay, good to know. Good to know. So he left that location. So we're going to put a clue on it there. And we got surge, didn't we? We got surge. So we're going to surge into a bog gator. That is going to engage us. It's got prey, lowest agility, 2 fight, 2 health, 2 to evade. While it's in a bog bayou location, it gets +2 fight, +2 evade. So it's 4 because we are at a bayou location. Ouch. Ah, getting bogged down here. Getting bogged down with the bog gator. So my turn. That is not good. That is not good. We need clues. But we need to get rid of the bog gator. Fight of 4. But luckily enough, I should be doing damage this time. It's not a treachery card, so we can't do water protection. Okay, we're going to just have to fight it. We could use consume life. That's a 3 cost. We can't use consume life. That's cost of 3. Okay, so I think we're going to have to fight it twice with the ritual dagger. Okay. First action. Fight with the ritual dagger. Add our willpower to our fight. So we're 5, 6. 6 versus 4. I don't like the sound of that. 6 versus 4. So I will play a ward of protection to make it 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4. -4 if you're at a bayou location. 7 versus 4. Oh, we fail. We fail. Damn. 7 versus 4 -4 is not great. That was our first action. Dear oh dear. It's all going a bit peaked on. So second action, we'll fight it again. With the ritual dagger. And this time we'll play a consume life to make it 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4, 0. We do 1 damage to it, which means we've stopped Curse of the Rougarou, which is good. But it's going to take us all 3 actions, by the looks of it, to kill this Bog Gator. Third action, fight with the Ritual Dagger. But this time I'm going to have to chuck in Augur of Elikos, which gives me only +1. Because the willpower icon doesn't help us. So it's going to be 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4. -4. We don't do it. We don't do it. God. 7 versus 4. We fail. That's all 3 actions on the Bog Gator. That's not good. That is not good. At the end of my turn, we're going to try and get rid of Dragged Under. It's a 3 versus 3. -4. Wow, this Chaos Bag is being nasty to us today. Curse of the Rougarou we don't need to worry about because we did do 1 damage to the Bog Gator. We go to the enemy phase. The Bog Gator is going to hit us for 1 and 1. 1 damage and 1 sanity. I will take the damage and the sanity, so we're down to 7 and 5. Boom. And boom. But after damage is placed on Marie, draw 2 cards, discard 1 of them. We'll draw 2 cards, we get another Jim Culver. And we get a Hemophobia. You're joking me, aren't you? Oh, we have to take the Hemophobia. Hemophobia is the first time each round an investigator location takes damage, take 1 horror, 2 actions to discard it. Wow, this is, and we're just, this is getting a bit tricky. We're going to exhaust Jim Culver because we took damage. Draw a card. We draw our second weakness, or a second weakness. Pursued. Revelation, put Pursued into play into your threat area. After an enemy enters or moves into your, spawns at your location, take 1 horror. 2 actions to discard Pursued. Wow. Wow. That is pretty amazing. That. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This could be a very short stream. I'll plan for an hour. Or probably about 40 minutes by the time I got started. This could be over quite quickly. Yeah. Okay. That was the enemy phase because the Bog Gate had done us damage. Rougarou is staying where it is. We go to the upkeep phase. We ready up. We get our actions back. We gain a resource up to 2. We draw a card. If this is the third weakness, no. Rougarou of Elakos. Wow, I can't believe that turn. I can't believe that turn. Well, there we go. Mythos phase. We put the 5th Doom on the agenda. So we're going to flip this agenda 1A. We're going to flip it to Darkened Skies. A violent storm rolls in as your search continues. Black rain clouds conquer the sky, the air thick with humidity. You recall that all of the recent killings took place late at night under the cover of dark clouds. A shiver runs up your spine and you cannot help but wonder, what if you are next? Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. If the Rougarou is in play, find a non-Bayou location with the fewest clues on it. Move the Rougarou one at a time until it enters that location. If the Rougarou is in play, after advancing to Agenda 2A, add 1 Doom to the agenda. Well, it is in play. So it's going to move. Let's say it's going to go 1, 2, 3 down here to the wilderness. So New Orleans is going to get a clue on it. Cursed Shores is going to get a clue on it, and the Forgotten Marsh is going to get a clue on it. It's gone. And then we're on to Agenda 2A. The Rougarou feeds. Around you, the Bayou feasts. Flesh rips and jaws snap just beyond the trees, and light droplets of rain ripple upon the surface of the water. You can't tell exactly where the sounds are coming from. Perhaps it's the dreadful ambience of the Bayou itself. Okay, we draw an encounter card. We draw Spectral Mist. Attached to a Bayou location, limit one per location. Each skill test performed at attached location gets +1 difficulty. Test Intellect 2 to disrupt the source of the mist. If you succeed, discard Spectral Mist. Oh my god. This is just getting a bit ridiculous now. This is getting a bit ridiculous. So the Bog Gate had just become a lot more difficult to deal with. What do we do? Oh goodness, this is tricky. This is tricky. We've got to try and deal with the Bog Gator. So first action is going to be to attempt to use the ritual dagger to fight. So I'm fight 4, 5, 6. I'm going to put an Augur of Elakos in to make it 7. But I'm now going 7 against 5 because it gets +1 difficulty. 7 against 5 with this chaos bag, I'm not liking the look of. 7 against 5. It's all we can do. Seven against 5. Come on, chaos bag. Be nice to us. 7 against 5. Reveal another token. If you fail, can't move. 7 against 5. Come on. Come on. -1. Oh, we pass. We do deal damage to the Bog Gator, the Curse of the Rougarou later. That takes the Bog Gator out. Finally. Got to get a shift on. That was my first action. But I've got to get rid of these weaknesses, otherwise I'm going to be stumped later. Second two actions is I'm going to get rid of Pursue, because that's the one that deals me horror. And I've got less sanity to think about. Unfortunately, we seem to be stuck at the Foul Swamp. That is it for Marie. Very quick turns. Very quick turns. We did deal damage. Oh, we forgot to do the test. We've got to do our test of 3 versus 3 for Dragged Under. Come on, Chaos Bag. You've warmed up now. 3 versus 3. Draw another token. 3 versus 3, and lovely 0 or +1 would be delightful. +1. Yes. Now it's going. Now it's going. Dragged Under goes. All right. Enemy phase. We've only got the Rougarou in play now, so that's fine. Upkeep phase. We ready up. We get our actions back. We gain a resource up to 3. We draw a card. We get ceremonial robes. Handy. Very handy. Reducing the cost of the first spell or ritual card by 1. We need to get that into play quite quickly, although we've got no spell or ritual cards at the moment. But it's got some soak on it as well, which is good. I seem to be, I feel like I'm buggering about a little bit. Okay. Mythos phase. 1 doom on the agenda, 1 of 6. We draw our encounter card, which is a Marsh Gog. Spawn at any Bayou location. Okay, we're not going near, you're not going near me. I think I'm going to be heading into the Forgotten Marsh. So let's put it any Bayou location. So let's put it at the Cursed Shore. It has got Hunter. Okay. My turn. First action. Spend 2. 1, 2. To put in the Bloodstone. +1 will. We're all good. Actually, let's just swap these around a little bit, just so I know what I've got, because that's a hand item. I want to make sure I'm not got too many things out that I can't have out. That's my first action. Static +1 willpower. Second action is going to be to move into the Forgotten Marsh. Flipping that over. A 2 shroud. When you leave the Forgotten Marsh, we lose 2 resources. I've only got 1. The problem is if I stay here, the Marsh Gug is gonna come in at me. Although it's very juicy to have I've got no clues to engage the Rougarou, but it's aloof. It is aloof. Do I move into the wilderness with the Rougarou, hoping that there's going to be some clues there because it's aloof? Gain a clue, engage it for 1, and hit it for 1 maybe. That's what I'm thinking. That would be my third action. Got 4 people watching on the channel. Any ideas? Any suggestions? Do I go in for the Rougarou? Or do I not? We haven't done any damage this turn. Haven't done any damage. That Curse of the Rougarou is a nightmare. That's going to kill me. Okay, third action, I'm going to move down to this wilderness spot with the Rougarou. It's aloof, so it doesn't engage me, and we are in the area where it comes in with 1 clue. Shroud of 3. And that's it for my actions. That was 3 actions. Mainly to get away from this thing. We do need a cosmic flame if at all possible. I didn't do any damage this turn. So I'm going to take another horror from Curse of the Rougarou. That thing's a nightmare. Down to 4 sanity, sorry. That's it. Go to the enemy phase. This Marsh Grog is going to move across to the Forgotten Marsh to head his journey down towards the Twisted Underbush. Rougarou is going to stay where it is. It's aloof. It's not got a hunter. That's it. We go to the upkeep phase. We're ready up. Get our actions back. We gain a resource up to 2. We draw a card. We draw Offering Bowl. It's got a wild symbol on it. I don't really want to be taking damage. It's not bad. Not convinced. Take a damage and gain 2 resources. Costs you 1 to play it. So for 1 damage, you're basically getting 1 resource, which for me is not great. Not great. All good on the stream. That's good. Right. We go to the Mythos phase. Actually, let's put that up the top there so it's a bit out of the way. Second of 6, sorry, on to the agenda. And then we are going to be, oh, yeah, we took the horror. Oh, after we take horror, we could exhaust, I'm going to exhaust Jim Culver. We took horror to draw a card. Should have done that. Grandamere's Charm. I don't think it's as good as Bloodstone, but it's some will icons and a wild as well. What it is take 1 direct damage and exhaust it, replenish 1 charge on an asset at your location. I just don't think it's as good as Bloodstone with 2 soak and just a static will. So 2 on there. We've got to draw our encounter card. We're going to draw On the Prowl. Find a non-Bayo location with the fewest clues in it. Move the Rougarou 1 at a time until it enters that location. So that's going to just prowl across to this wilderness, and it's going to delightfully leave another clue at the twisted underbrush for us. That's very handy. That's very handy. The marsh gug is blocking our way out. So it's our turn now. Oh. I think we're going to need to deal with this marsh gug before we do anything else. 4 health. Or do I take this opportunity to get rid of hemophobia? I've got nothing. My ritual dagger is good, but it's going to take me 4 hits to get rid of it because it doesn't do additional damage. And I'm gonna, that Curse of the Rougarou thing is gonna kill me again. So I could move up for 1, engage the masked gug, and then hit it twice. But then I am gonna take. Oh no, I can spread the bloodstone out. I think we're just going to have to deal with this gug to start off with. We could let it come to us. We could get the 2 clues now. And then it would hunt and then attack us for 2 and 1. So we would be taking 1 sanity because I could put 2 on Jim and Bloodstone and then take 1. And then I'll take another 1 because I haven't done any damage. So the better thing to do is to go up and engage it and then take the hit off it once. That's my workings out, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So first action, we're going to move up to the marsh. And in the marsh, we're going to engage with the marsh gug. So that was first action. Second action is going to try to hit it with the ritual dagger. Oh. Hang on a sec, let's just rewind that. Hemophobia is in play as well, which means I'd be taking horror as well. Because we won't take any damage. Sorry, I'm thinking things through in my head. Because hemophobia says the first round, each round, an investigator at your location takes damage, take 1 horror. 2 actions to discard it. Now, if I go up, engage it, hit it a couple of times, it's then going to hit me back. But I'll put the damage on Jim and I'll put the damage on Bloodstone, so I won't be taking any damage. Yeah, we can do that. That's fine. So move up to the Forgotten Marsh. We'll engage the Marsh Gug for our first action. Our second action is to hit it with the Ritual Dagger. It's 3. And I'm 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 3. 7 versus 3. I think I'm going to take those odds. 7 versus 3. -2, -4 if you're at a Lambeau location. I'm at a Lambeau location, but 7 versus 3 -4 is 3, which means we do hit it. So we put 1 damage onto it. Third action is to do exactly the same thing. fight with the ritual dagger. 7 versus 3. -5. 7 versus 3 -5. It's not got retaliate, and I have done a damage. I have done a damage, which means Curse of the Rougarou won't kick in. Oh, that's annoying. So that's going to take 3 more turns to get rid of the blinking thing. Can't get to the Rougarou at the minute. Okay. That's it. Enemy phase. Rougarou is going to stay there. Marshgarg is going to hit us for 2 damage and 1 sanity. So the 2 damage, 1 will go on to Jim Culver. And 1 will go on to Bloodstone. So Hemophobia doesn't kick in. But unfortunately, I do take another sanity down to 3. Down to 3. Okay, that's it for my turn, or the enemy phase. We ready up. We gain a resource up to 3. Get our actions back. We draw a card. Cosmic Flame would be nice. Another Bloodstone. Not great. Not great. Where's my Cosmic Flame when I need it? We go to the Mythos phase. We put 3 of 6 onto the agenda. We draw our encounter card. We're going to get Dragged Under. God. Dragged Under. Test Agility 3. Comes into play in our threat area. Well, we're not going anywhere anytime soon, so it doesn't really matter if we do fail this. I could make it 6 versus 3. No, let's just go 3 versus 3. 3 versus 3. +1. Chaos Bag doesn't like Dragged Under. Our turn. First action, Ritual Dagger against the Marshgarg. So we are 4, 5, 6 plus our fight is 7 versus 3. I am going to chuck an Offering Bowl in there to make it 8 versus 3. 8 versus 3. -4. Good job. Well, good job I did. -4. That's another damage. My first action. Second action is to hit the Marshgarg again. This time we'll play Grandmare's Charm to make it 8 versus 3. 8 versus 3. Reveal another token. Eight versus 3, -2. We do the third damage. Third action, hit the Marshgarg with the Ritual Dagger. Don't want to do it, but I am going to play the Ceremonial Robes to make it 8 versus 3. Having that -5 in there, 8 versus 3, +1. +1. Ceremonial Robes go. Marsh Gug goes. But all of my actions taken to get rid of Marsh Gug. I've done damage this turn, so I'm going to put just an exhausted on that because I know I've done it. Okay. Enemy's turn. Rougarou's hanging around. Upkeep phase. We ready up. We get our actions back. We gain a resource up to 4. We draw a card. We get infused life. Oh, okay. Okay. That could be worth doing. That could be worth doing. If only. Mythos phase. We put 4 of 6 onto the agenda. We draw a card. Right. We get we get a leech. Comes in engaged with us because we are in a bayou location. What is it? What is it? So we're going to have to deal with this swamp leech now. Jim Culver readies up. Curse of the Rougarou is back in play. I suppose the leech does give us a chance to do damage. So first action. Hit the swamp leech with the ritual dagger. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4. Seven versus 4. Elder Sign. Heal 1 damage. Lovely. Back up to 8. That's very nice. And it does do 1 damage to the swamp leech, which turns off Curse of the Rougarou. That was my first action. I am going to take this opportunity to spend 2 actions to get rid of Hemophobia. I am going to do that. That's it. Go to the enemy phase. Rougarou is still chilling out. Go to the upkeep phase. We ready up. We get our actions back. We gain a resource up to 5. We draw a card. Here's our Cosmic Flame. Here's our Cosmic Flame. We can use that. We don't need it for the Rougarou, but we do need it for other enemies. That goes. We are banging through the agenda now, though, unfortunately. It doesn't feel like we've made too much progress with the Rougarou, but we've had stuff to deal with, which doesn't help. But he is quite liking it in the underbush. We could maybe get in and do 1 damage this turn if possible. So we're going to move to the top of the Mythos phase. We're going to put 1 on the 5 of 6 on the agenda. Now this needs to be a nice card of the encounter deck. What is it? Insatiable Bloodlust. Rougarou gets +1 fight, +1 damage, +1 horror, and cannot be evaded. After the Rougarou takes damage, discard Insatiable Bloodlust. So he's now 4 fight, 4 to evade. And he's hitting for 3. But if he does damage, if he takes damage, then he goes. Okay. Not too bad. Over to Marie. We would like to do damage to him this turn. Investigate for 1. Move, and then we've got, oh no, I can't. That curse of the Rougarou is going to kill me if I'm not careful. I'm down to 3 sanity. I can't. I've got no clues to engage the Rougarou. I could get a clue easily off Forgotten March. There's 1 there. Shroud of 2. Should be no problem. But I haven't got enough actions to get down there, engage it, and do damage. So what I could do is first action, spend 3, so down to 2. 1, 2, 3 to play Cosmic Flame. Let's get that out. We're good for that. That's all we can use. Comes in with 3 charges. And we can fight with that to do additional damage. So that was first action. Second action is going to be to move down to the Twisted Underbrush. Third action, we're going to investigate using Second Sight. Uses our willpower. And so we are 4, 5, 6. I will chuck a Bloodstone in there to make me 7 versus 3. Oh no, I don't need to use that yet. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. Always forget that. In chapter 1. 7 versus 3. Putting a Bloodstone in. 7 versus 3. Plus 1 again. We're successful. Therefore, I will spend a charge on Second Sight to get 2 clues. Discover an additional clue. So we get 2 clues. Two clues. But that is my turn. Enemy phase. We're all good. Rougarou's just chilling out. Then we go to the upkeep phase. We ready up. We get our actions back. We gain a resource up to 3. Oh, why am I? Oh, 1, 2, 3. 1, 3. Boom. There we go. 3. We draw a card. We get an offering bowl. We go to the Mythos phase. We're at 6, so we're going to flip to Agenda 3A. We're going to flip this. We're going to flip Agenda 2A first of all. So 2A says clash of thunder roars through the sky and you reel in pain from the sudden explosion of noise. Your vision doubles and bile leaps up into your throat. A lone howl returns the call of the sky, echoing throughout the bayou. You wrench yourself off the muddy ground and find your bearings, unable to shake the feeling that you're running out of time. Shuffle all copies of On the Prowl from the Encounter discard pile into the Encounter deck. On the Prowl. On the Prowl. 1, 2. There we go. If the Rougarou is in play, find a non-bayou location with the fewest clues on it. Move the Rougarou one location at a time until it enters that location. Well, Twisted Underbrush has got no clues on it, so he's going to come across to the Twisted Underbrush and he's going to leave a clue in the wilderness. These have all got clues on them. I don't have to move him over there. So we'll come to this one. Agenda 3A. The curse spreads. Tendrils of slime ooze from the bogs, crawling over tree roots and grasping at you as you pass. The air hangs heavy with a noxious heat. You feel as though you're sinking deep into the bayou, sinking beneath the heaviness of the black sky and rank mist. At the end of the investigation phase, if the Rougarou is not engaged with an investigator, add 1 doom to this agenda. What? Blimey. I remember playing this a few years back. Didn't realise, I couldn't remember it being this hard. Okay. So then we get an encounter card from Marie, and that is going to be Insatiable Bloodlust. Oh, God. So he's going to now be +2 to everything. Wow. He's a big boy. Got 2 of those on him. So he's now 5 fights, 4 damage, 2 sanity. Oh no, yeah. 4 damage, 4 sanity. And he can't be evaded. Wowzers. We've got to try and hit him, though. We have got to try and hit him at least once. So my turn. We will spend 1 clue to engage the Rougarou. We won't bring him down, we'll just leave him there. He's engaged with us. And then we're going to try and hit him with the Ritual Dagger. I'm not going to waste Cosmic Flame on him. Ritual Dagger is actually slightly better. So we are 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 versus 5. 7 versus 5. I really want to try and make this count. I could go 8 versus 5. I could go 9 versus 5. But that would mean losing my infused life, which heals damage. So that I'll go 9 versus 5. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 versus 5. 9 versus 5. -2, -4 if you're at a bayou. We're not at a bayou. So we do 1 damage to him. Finally, 1 damage to the Rougarou. We then discard the 2 insatiable bloodlusts because he's taken damage. And then he's going to move. He's going to move to the furthest location. So 1, 2, 3 to there. 1, 2, 3 to there. So it doesn't really matter. So let's put him over in New Orleans because that's got clues on it. That's got clues on it. Let's do that. Actually, let's put him down here because then you'll be able to see him a bit better. It doesn't really matter which one he goes to. We'll go down there to New Orleans. We do 1 damage on him. 20% of his health is gone. Just like that. That's my first action. My first action. And we've done damage, which means Curse of the Rougarou is turned off. Now it's a case of chasing him. But I'd always like to have 1 clue in the bank, as it were. Second action is going to be to move back to the Forgotten Marsh. And third action will investigate with the hand crank flashlight. So we're 5 versus 2. 5 versus 2. Five versus 2, 0. We get it. We get the clue. Lovely. Now we just need to go 1, 2. Stay there and then hit him next turn. But that's not good because this thing, we should have stayed engaged with him. But if we're engaged with him, he's going to hit us for 2 and 2. Wow, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. If we're engaged with him at the end of a turn, add 1 doom. But if we're engaged with him, he's hitting us for 2 and 2. That's ramp. Okay. So he's not engaged with us at the end of the turn, so we add 1 to the agenda. So this is effectively like a 4 doom rather than 8, in all honesty. Okay. He's staying there. We've got no other enemies in play. Curse of the Rougarou, we've done damage. We go to the upkeep phase. We ready up, get our actions back. We gain a resource up to 4. We draw a card. Top decking. Favour of Balshandor. As an additional cost to play Favour, take 1 damage. Play a spell or ritual asset from your hand, reducing its cost by 3. Playing this card does not provoke an attack of opportunity. Handy for later on, not quite at the moment. We can get rid of that because Curse comes back online. We put top of the Mythos phase, 2 of 8 onto the agenda. We draw a card. We get a Dark Young Host. Spawn any Bayou location. 4 fight, 5 health, 2 evade. When 1 or more clues are placed on Dark Young's host location, place those clues on Dark Young Host. When Dark Young Host is defeated. Move all clues on Dark Young Host to its location. Well, we're going towards the Cursed Shore, so let's see. Let's let it hang out with Lady Esprit. We will have to deal with it. We will have to deal with it. Or do we want to put it with us now? Or do we want to deal with it now? Just to get rid of it. No, we're wasting time. Let's put it. We're going to have to deal. We are going to have to deal with it, but it feels like we're wasting time. That's it. Over to Marie. 1 to there, 2 to there. So 1 to the Cursed Shores, which is going to flip this. Second action, 2 down to New Orleans. Test agility 7 to try and break into a nearby greenhouse and take a look round. If you succeed, remember that the investigators found a strange doll. Third action, let's investigate with the hand crank flashlight. So we are 5 against 4. Rougarou's aloof. 5 against 4. 5 against 1, sorry. 0. You get the clue. We've got the clues. Getting the clues, we just need to hit the thing. End of my turn. We take a horror because of Curse of the Rougarou. We didn't do any damage this turn, down to 2. And because the Rougarou is not engaged with an investigator, we're going to add 1 doom to the agenda. Enemy phase. Dark Young has not got a hunter, so it's going to chill out with Lady Esprit. Rougarou's not got a hunter, so it's going to chill out there. We're going to go to the upkeep phase. We're going to ready up. We're going to get our actions back. We're going to gain a resource up to 5. We're going to draw a card. We're going to draw, of course, it is Call to Gane. Put Call of Gane into play. You cannot heal damage. Choose and discard 3 cards from your hand. Discard Call to Gane. Well, we don't really need to worry about that. I'm not doing any healing anytime soon. We go to the top of the Mythos phase. We're at 4 of 8. We draw a card. We get Cursed Swamp. Test will 3. For each point you fail by, take 1 damage. If you're at a Bayou location, you cannot commit caster's skill test. Well, we can take, I think we can tank that. So we are 4, 5, 6. 6 against 3. It is just going to be 6 against 3. Six against 3, -2. We pass. Oh, Should I reveal another token? Sorry, I'll reveal another token. 6 against 3 is -2. Reveal another token, -4. We fail. So that would have been -6. 6 against 3. Ouch. We take 3 damage. Yeah, -2, -4. 6 versus 3. Yeah, we take 3 damage. We can take that. 1, 2, down to 5. 2. 3. Okay. First action, we're going to engage the Rougarou for 1 clue. Down to 2 clues. We're engaged with it. Then we're going to fight it using our ritual dagger. So we are 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 3. 7 versus 3. -2. We get it. Does a damage to it. Then we're going to move it. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, 3. It doesn't really make a lot of difference. 1, 2, 3 to there. 1, 2, 3. They're all 3. So we'll just for ease, we will put it in the wilderness. Oops. 2 damage on it. It left the garden district. It left the cursed shores, and it left the forgotten marsh. So first action was to engage it. Second action was to hit it. Third action, it's time to get a shift on, so I'm going to move back to the cursed shores. I should have discarded a skill card from my hand. I've got no skill card. It's just an event, so I checked earlier. I've done damage, so Curse of the Rougarou is turned off. I need some move. Really, this deck could have done with some movement shenanigans. Movement in this is key. At the end of the investigation phase, oh no, we've still got, yeah, that was my third action, was to move. That's it. First action engage, second action hit, third action move. So the investigation phase, we're not engaged with him, so we put the doom on the agenda. 5 of 8. Rougarou stays there. Dark Young Host stays there. We can ignore this side of the board now, really. We go to the upkeep phase. We ready up. We get our actions back. We go up to 6 resources. We draw a card. Get a Cloak of Resonance. When horror is placed on Cloak of Resonance, exhaust it. Deal 1 damage to an enemy at your location. Curse of the Rougarou comes back online. top of the mythos phase. We put a doom on the agenda. We're now at 6 of 8. We draw an encounter card. We get a marsh gug. Spawn at any Bayou location. Well, it's going to spawn in with the Dark Young host over here. All happening over there. One, two. Three to engage it. He's going to hit me for 2 and 2. That will kill me. Okay, that could save me for a little bit. Yeah, so first action is to spend 3 down to 3. 1, 2, 3 to put a Cloak of Resonance in play. And then second 2 actions, 1, 2 to move down here, ready for next turn to hit the Rougarou. That's it. Rougarou. Oh, sorry. The end of the investigation phase. If it's not engaged with an enemy, put 1 on there, effectively. 7 of 8. Okay. Enemy phase. Marsh Gug is going to move across to the Forgotten Marsh. Just come and try and engage Marie. Upkeep phase. We're going to ready up. We're going to get our actions back. We're going to gain a resource up to 4. We're going to draw a card. We are going to draw Infuse Life. The end of my turn, I didn't do any damage, so I take 1 horror, so that will go on to Cloak of Resonance, exactly what I was put out. It's got 3 soak on it. Oh, bums. Sorry. We seem to have some light coming in, which is really annoying. Hang on a sec. I'll be right back. There we go. There we go. A bit of MacGyver-esque has fixed it. Okay. Where were we? Readied up, drawn my card. We're on the agenda phase. We put one on the agenda. We do put one on the agenda, which takes it to 8. This could be not very good. Let's see what it says. That's it. A high-pitched shriek echoes through the bayou, followed by sinister howls of the accursed Rougarou. The beast has drawn blood again, that you're sure of. The bearer of the curse of the Rougarou weakness reads, you feel something dripping from your hand and are surprised to find your knuckles bloody and torn. Nearby, the bark of a tree is smashed and dripping with blood. The anger of your failure slowly fades as you realise the blood is yours. Read resolution 1. Oh, what? Okay. Resolution 1, if you must. Resolution 1. Somehow you managed to make it back to safety before daybreak, resting until late afternoon. It isn't until you seek out Lady Esprit the next day that you realise who last night's victim was. With a heavy heart and an unshakable dread, you choose to bury her body instead of contacting the authorities. The less people who delve into the bayou, the better. In your campaign log, record the Rougarou continues to haunt the bayou. Each investigator earns experience equal to victory X of the value of each victory display. Oh, never mind. Never mind. We failed. The Rougarou continues to run around. There we go. That is the curse of the Rougarou. Yeah, we got snowed down a little bit to start off with. Soloing it, we need some. Maybe play it again with some. We need some movement shenanigans. Having to not getting our cosmic flame out or dealing plus damage early on sort of really stymied us because we were spending all of our actions to kill marsh gugs and gators and the like. And that's what happens in Arkham Horror. It eats into your actions. And then you find at the end of the game, you've not got it. I was then on a bit of a roll, would have been bouncing the Rougarou backwards and forwards, doing damage to him, but it was just too late in the game for that. Well, I hope you enjoyed this live stream and would appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to the channel. And there will be more live streams upcoming, more Arkham Horror, possibly more or new to the channel, not quite the same sort of thing, but Disney Lorcana, we've got some solo to play with that. I might record that rather than do live stream. I might keep Arkham Horror to the live stream. But yeah, that's enough for me. That's the end of the stream. For those that have joined this afternoon, thank you for watching. And for those that are watching off as it's been recorded, then I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thanks very much.